A very good morning to you all. I hope everybody's having a lovely Thursday today. I very quickly had to move rooms this morning, so I've seen quite a few of you putting on a comments that we are in different rooms. So the builders arrived this morning to fix my ceiling in the study, and when I came down, it was about 8:30. They were like banging. The noise was like so loud that I could not do the Facebook Live from the dining room, so I have to move one room back. I actually do love this room. This is one of my favorite rooms in the house. I call it the oak room because it got this oak paneling going all the way around, but I really do love it. So hopefully we will be all right with internet bandwidth and everything else, because we are further away from the region ad, but I'm sure we're going to be fine. I've seen Ed is watching. Hi Ed. I just want to make a special shout out to him. He's one of the directors on Create and Craft, and he said he made his first bracelet this weekend. Less said about it is better, he said. Well, we all really intrigued and would like to see the bracelet you made, Ed, so you're going to have to send us a picture. So I hope everybody's having a lovely morning. It's quite sunny here. I think it's a bit on the colder side outside, but nevertheless it's sunny today, so we just have to be grateful for that. I seen that it was raining in Dublin, one of you were saying, and I think Lorna was saying it's nice and sunny in Yorkshire. So I love this. I really do love this weather update from all over the UK. So good morning to everybody. If you are new today, please put new in the comments and just let us know where you're watching from, because we love to meet new people. Really just sort of want to welcome you to our little community here, what we built up over the months. Can you believe it? We've been going for 7 months now, so a long time, live every day. So right, today Creation Station is back. Let me just take a sip of my coffee. Today Creation Station is back. Now, last week we did a bracelet with 5mm. I'm going to turn you down. Actually, last week we made a bracelet with 5mm miracle beads, which Simon snapped up and took to work, so I haven't got any more. I lost that one. So this week what I really wanted to do is to play with 4mm miracle beads. Now these beads just a millimeter smaller than the 5mm we worked last week, but a millimeter smaller in one bead can make you are able to do a pattern, or you can't do it at all. Excuse the light, I think we're a little bit shadowy, but I think we're all right, because I have to move the whole sort of production very quickly. Right, and in the end I did chip my nail as I was moving it, so do excuse my nails as well. So what I was thinking to do, because on the 4mm miracle beads, and I did spend probably about 10 minutes just sitting here and rearranging the colors into sort of a really nice rainbow going from one end to the other. Let me just pull these in so you can see all of them. So we got from the gold tones into the browns, oranges, reds, and then you got your shadow and black, white, and pinks, purples, blues, and aquas, and then your greens. I think they just look really lovely. And when I'm working with multicolor beads like this, like we did it last week as well, I cannot help it but it puts a smile on my face. So I really do like to work with, like, as many colors possible as I can. So very quickly gonna show you what Simon and Molly added to the website, so you can shop ahead. We're gonna be I'm not sure yet, but or what we're gonna do, but they will add bits of pieces as we go along. So this is Creation Station from last week. If you go on our website, you can see that we had the 5mm bundle in here with these ends and all the seed beads what we used. And what I just want to show you is, if you want to check that out, if you want to check that video out, if you click on this button, it's going to bring up the Facebook video for you from last week's session. Right, today what I would like to do is to work with 4mm ones, so we created a separate page for it. The picture might look the same, but if you look at the it says 15th of October, the date on it, it will tell you which one you're going. We got hundreds of projects on there, so do check them out. Right, so today we're working with 4mm one. Now I'm going to be working with all 20 colors. You know me, I love my colors, but if you just want to have them individually, you can. You can just have pinks, or we can just have purples, you can just have aquas, whichever color you prefer. But Simon has given us a bundle of 20 color packs bundle. From £30 it's gone down to £19.99, so it's a great saving. So if you want to multi-make, grab this, because I'm not sure how much stock we got in there. Right, so now what you get in your bundle is not going to be a mixed bag like this. It's going to be separate bags, as you've seen on my, as you see it here on my table, that you're going to have them all separately, and each bag going to contain about 120 beads. But do check that one out as we go along. And if you use different bits of pieces and different clasp or anything like that, Molly is going to add it to the bottom of this page. I'm not sure what clasp we're going to do, so we will see what happens, or we'll see what we can make. This is the beauty. At first I was so nervous to do this, because obviously we're doing everything here like live, and anything could go wrong. So I have tried this stitch before, and I made a bracelet which is in that safe place. you know my safe place, the place where I never can find. But so I know approximately that this is gonna work. I did it with 3 colors before, but like spiraling around, and we have done a similar video not long ago on tubular netting with 3mm crystals, so do check that one out as well. Molly, if you're watching, can you give us the link for that, because that's a really great one to have a look as well. And right, let's go back down, and we're going to start making. So tubular netting is one of my favorite stitches, and it's really, really easy to do. We're going to be using, so last week we were using only size 8 seed beads. This time we're going to need size 8 and size 11 as well. So I'm not really sure what color shall I go with. Last week we used sort of a very neutral color. Again, I think because we're working with so many different colors, we're gonna need a neutral color. If I just worked with the aquas and blues, then I could have something which is sort of more like aqua or blue. If I was working with the golds, I could have like a goldy color. If I was working with sort of the monochromes, then I would use gray, or any color mixes you prefer. You would put the purples, you probably would use a purple. But when I use overall colors, I really like to use a gray or a black tone, depending on what way I want to take the overall color through. So do let me know, which color would you prefer. I've got black here, which is color 49. I got hematite color, which is color 81. I also got a silver line gray, which is 29 or 29B, and I have this one is 557. This is like a galvanized metallic color as well. This looks really gorgeous as well. So let me know gray. This gray, Tom is saying. Purple. I haven't got purple, there is only got a black. Only got hematite gray or like a silvery color. So that's our options from the seed beads, what we're going to be using. Otherwise I could have put all the colors out here, and it would have fit, all these little pots would fill up all of my table. So do let me know. Margaret saying morning a bit late, happy Thursday to you. Yes, I can't believe it's blue, purple or red beads. So we're not choosing the color of this, because I'm going to use all of this. We're choosing the color of the seed beads, darker grays. So we got one gray, one dark gray, we've got one silver, black or hematite. So we got 2 for the hematite so far. Gray, hematite, 3 for the hematite, 2 for the gray. Silver, silver and grey, silver and hematite grey, galvanized silver. Robin is saying, I think it's pretty much, so nobody really wants the black, so let's take the black out of the equation. Silver, so let's try the silver. I quite like this color, this galvanized silver, because most of you saying silver. I do need somebody to keep like a little count on this one. Right, so I'm going to pop these to the top. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom you in a little bit so you can see better once I start making that what we are doing. So I'm gonna need size 8 and size 11 seed beads. I'm gonna start, well, there's two ways you could do it. You could sort of use all the colors at the same time, but when you're using so many colors, sometimes it's just nice to use a couple of rows of the same color. Then we're gonna put this color away and get the next color out so we don't get confused. Right, so how to start your tuber, and I think my lovely Lucy put this in bags for me and she written the color names on it. So this one is called gold, so I'll tell you the color name as we go along, because sometimes on the website they can look very similar on the picture. So I'm going to start by picking up a size 8, a miracle, another size 8, another miracle, another size 8, and another miracle. So that's all I have on my needle here. I'm going to take this all the way down. I'm actually going to suspend this on my finger so you can see it better. And then I'm going to go through from my tail end towards my working end through all of those beads. Now, because I have got quite a nice large beads here, so even if I make a knot, if I bring it up, you can see it better. So even if I make a knot here to have a really nice secure base, then even if the knot goes into one of those beads, it's really going to stay there nice and secure, and we will be able to go through again. I'm just pop these down a little bit, just change them about. So I got my seed beads towards the bottom, and then I can keep my hand here for you, so it's always nice in shot. So I'm just gonna tie this together so I have a really nice and solid beads. Now normally I wouldn't tie my beads together at this point because I don't want to block them by letting the little knot seep into here, but because we got large holes, we're gonna do it. So want to get away from my knot. I don't want to start right next to my knot, so I'm going to go through next miracle and seed bead to be in position to add further beads. Now it doesn't matter if you work clockwise or if you work anti-clockwise. It's entirely up to you. If you're left-handed, you might find it easier to work clockwise. If you're right-handed, I like to work anti-clockwise. So this is when you decide that which way you're gonna go. So have a look what way your thread is exiting out from the bead, and if it's sort of to the right, and then you're gonna go anti-clockwise. If it's from the top coming down, then you're gonna go clockwise. It doesn't matter which direction you go as long as you do exactly the same. So from here we're gonna pick up 2 size 11, 1 size 8 and 2 size 11 on every single time, right? So we just got that. Now I'm gonna miss this miracle bead and I'm gonna go through the next size 8 seed bead. So all I'm creating is just a little loop on the top of my miracle beads, and I'm gonna turn and I do exactly the same again. So 2 seed beads size 11, 1 size 8 and another 2 size 11. Again, I'm gonna miss the miracle bead and just go through the next size 8 and turn and repeat it again. 2 size 11, 1 size 8, 2 size 11. Again, I'm gonna miss this miracle bead and go to the next size 8 on my base. So with this, we added all our seed beads around. Now we're gonna have to step up before we can add any further beads. So as locate where you're coming out from, I'm gonna go through the next 2 size 11 and 1 size 8. Let me just bring this a little bit up more. Can I zoom in a bit more here? Yeah, that's it. I don't want to zoom in too much. That's about right. So I want to come out of this size 8 and pull this up. So now in a position to add another row, but not another row, to add our miracle beads. So I'm going to pick up a miracle bead. I'm going to miss all these beads on a side, and as you can see, we sort of have a little bit of a triangle going on here, and we are on one bottom of the bottom part of the triangle, and I'm going to jump and go through the next point of this little triangle we created and just pull this up nice and tight. And that's it. And as I'm pulling the miracle bead in here, my triangle is sort of start to disappear and it's gonna be more like a tubular shape. And again, I'm gonna repeat it again. I'm gonna go to the next corner of that triangle and pull this up and turn it again. And now I'm back to the first one, the first size 8 I was coming out before I added. But you say share the stream. You can share any of our tutorials, and in fact I love you to share our tutorials, because the most people we can inspire, and the more people we can get into crafting and beading, it just makes us like, I always say this is my proud mummy moment, that if I can inspire people and teach them, because we're not teaching rocket science here. Everything what we teach is quite easy, and step by step you can learn it and you can do it at home as well. So I'm back to my picking up 2 size 11, 1 size 8, 2 size 11. I'm just adding my loops on my top of my miracle beads, but I'm not going through the miracle beads anymore. I'm still going around the size 8 and just pull this up. So I'm just thinking I'm gonna step up, and this would be the third miracle beads we add. I'm just thinking that how many miracle beads shall we add per color. I think so we're gonna have 20 colors. 20 times 0.4 is about 8 centimeters, 16. Yeah, I'm gonna go for 3. So I'm gonna go 3 lots of one color. I'm just gonna get this color out, because this is the last time I'm filling in with this color, and they're gonna step to the next color. Once I make an inch or so, you're gonna see how it comes together very, very quickly. So now I'm picking up my miracle beads and just going through those size 8 seed beads, just those corner ones, all the way around, and pulling it nice and tight. And I'm back to my second step, where you're picking up your seed beads and creating the loops around your miracle beads. And it's really that easy. There is 2 steps to it. In each step you have to repeat it 3 times. Step up and you're good to go. And it's so relaxing as well. I find this stitch, I come back to it over and over again with different beads. You can increase or decrease the size of the beads, or the number of beads, creating bigger or smaller loops. You can do a lot with it. So I'm just adding the last little loop, and I'm stepping up into that triangle corner, just like that, and I'm ready to add my miracle beads. But we're gonna change color. So I am Lucy saying, I still not got my head around these types of project spirals and tube type stitches, but you make it look like it is really easy, Lucy. It's just, I think it has to, I always say that with any crafts, and even if like I was trying to do something else, there is that light bulb moment, that there is that when it's sort of everything clicks together, and once it clicks together, you will know what you're doing. And because here really what we're doing, we are beading in 3D. We've taken a 2-dimensional pattern, a flat pattern, and I pinned that bead, and turned it into 3 dimensions by going in round and round. Oh, Pamela's saying, I thought I was the only one. No. Even I have to sort of go back and remind myself with patterns. So once you learn a pattern, like you're in a pattern like this, I don't forget the pattern because I know what I have to do. I perhaps forget the number of seed beads I have to pick up, or the size of the seed beads I was working with. So it's always good to, if you have instructions, to save them, print them out, or if you're watching from the video, just write it down, what sizes I use, because if I was trying to force the 5mm beads in here with these, with only the 2 size 11, one size 2 size 11, or a 6mm, it will not work. You would have to change the number of seed beads. So very often, if I go and revisit a project even I designed years and years and years ago, I just have to look up my own instruction. Or if I haven't got a sample, usually I have a sample lying around, but if I haven't got a sample, I just need to go and just quickly have a look at how many seed beads I picked up, or in what step, and that's it. You remind yourself, and then you can do it. D's saying this one gets me, just can't get. So D, let me just sort of explain it to you again. So we started off with picking up a miracle bead, size 8 seed bead, miracle bead, size 8 seed bead, miracle bead, size 8 seed beads. So there was 3 sets of each on our threads. If you joined us as well, and I went through from the tail end to creating a loop. To turn them into a circle. Now, because these are larger hole beads, you can knot your tail end and your thread together, so you can have a really nice, even if the knot goes into one of those beads, it's not a problem because they got quite a large holes. It's not going to block it. You can come back through it. We still can't see your face. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me just add my stuff in the top here. There we go. Make it a little bit bigger. Because I was playing around and moving things around, I keep forgetting it. And Sarah's been doing for the Facebook Lives for the last few days. So I'm just, I suppose, out of practice. After 2 days, you forget things how to do. Oh dear. Right, so on the next row, you're going to pick up 2 seed beads, size 11, 1 size 8, 2 seed beads, size 11. And you're going to, as you can see, I'm only going to sew through the size 8 on my base row. And I'm coming out of this one, I'm going to go through the next one. And I'm going to create this little loop around the miracle beads. And I'm going to repeat this 2 more times to have a seed bead hugging each one of those miracle beads. And I'm picking up another 2 seed bead, size 11, another one size 8, 2 more size 11, and doing that final little hug. Now, often when I do this, and I know I need to step up here because I need to come out of that corner to be able to add my miracle beads, what I often do in the same stitch as I'm going in the size 8, I jump up into the first loop and go through the 2 size 11 and 1 size 8. So when I pull this tight, I'm coming out, I turned my little beads into like a triangle shape here, and I'm coming out in one corner. Then I'm going to pick up a miracle beads, and I'm going to go through the corner at the top. I like to turn my work as I go along because it makes it for me easier. I'm always sort of doing the same motion and not trying to fit my hand around in all sorts of different angles. So but you have to work out what way is the best one for you to work. And again, I picked up a miracle bead and I'm going to that corner, turning it a little bit, picking up the last miracle bead and coming down through that corner. I'm pulling it nice and tight. And as you can see, as we change the color, the pattern changed the color as well. And now for the next one, we need to change our color again. So we're gonna go with even a dark gold, it's called. Diane is saying, I don't know what happens, but have comments, that's nice. Yes, Facebook have updates all the time, and it's sort of out of our hand that what they do. I know they had a big update a few weeks ago, And a lot of people were saying, because we have the handmade group on Facebook, and a lot of people saying that, oh, I applied for the group for like a week ago and you're not letting me in. Why are you not letting me in? And I went to the group, because only the admins can allow people to come into the group. I went to the group to let all these people in, and I can see zero. And this went on for 2 weeks, and then Facebook had another update, and all of a sudden I had over 100 people trying to get into our lovely handmade group. So things can always, I think there's always bugs in the system, and they're trying to do all sorts of things. But I think, I personally think that they are doing a great job because they are bringing people together. How many bracelets from bundle, Judy? A lot. So obviously you're going to need your size 8 and size 11 seed beads, but depending on, you might have some at home. There's 120 beads in each one of those bags, so altogether you're going to have 20 times 120, 2,400 beads to play with. And I haven't got my ruler here. This is probably over an inch, and I'm just starting to use the third color. So I got 21 beads on there so far. So I think you probably, depending on what size you do as well, but definitely enough for 10 bracelets or so. You can do loads. You can do what I'm doing here. I'm gonna probably this is gonna turn out to a necklace, a bit longer one. You can go through the colors from, like, put them out in a row, in a rainbow row, or however you want, or you can just use specific colors. You can just use all the purples together, or all the blues, or all the aquas together, whichever you wish. You got your you got your choice. Or why not make both, because you got so much beads in there that you could do. And I love miracle beads because they give you that beautiful shine. They're really lightweight as well. But this pattern will work with other 4mm beads as well. And I'm adding my miracle beads. So I'm just gonna go and after this, I pinned it. After this, we're gonna be going and adding browns, then we're going to oranges and reds. I love working with multicolor, and I cannot stress this like sort of enough, because whenever I work with multicolor, it just really puts a smile on my face. It really makes, I don't know, I love my colors, so just brightens your day. These saying she would try again to do the pattern. It's a really nice and easy pattern to do. There you got 2 steps. One step's you picking up your seed beads, which is 2 size 11, 1 size 8, 2 size 11. You're going hugging your miracle beads, always just sewing through those size 8 seed beads. Because we're working 11s and 8s here, it's quite easy pattern as well in that way, because the beads are not too small. When we were doing the crystal, the 3mm crystal ones, we were working with 15s and 11s, so those beads were a little bit smaller. So this one is a little bit bigger. The weave, what you're going to create, this is about 10mm in size, I would say 10-11mm, the tube you're going to be creating. Right, and so I've done my, let me just look at the names. So this is the gold, this is yellow, this is the dark gold, and now I'm going into my brown. So I need 9 of this as well. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. I just want to add a couple more colors. Camille's saying my dad was a chief accountant. Buy him rubbish. Why are you rubbish at Lovey? You are good with maths in your head, Kitty. Rubbish with, oh no, I'm not good with maths in my head. And we were talking about this, and Sarah was talking about this as well, that, you know, I might be able to work out very quickly that, I don't know, 20 times 120 is 2,400, but when we're trying to count the 12 days of Christmas with Sarah in the calendar, in my diary, we kept missing 3 days, and we knew that it was between the 25th and going into January, but our one didn't finish on the 6th, it kept finishing on the 9th. And I did not know, like, you know, what was going on. I counted about 4 times and I missed the first, second and third on the top of the page. So I think we all have our little, don't know, moments. So now I'm going and adding the brown ones. I mean, you can do this in any different colors. You could skip all the pink colors and after the brown, you could add your green. It's up to you. Really, it's up to you. Your designs, you can do what you want to do. However, what Simon has given us a great bundle here from 30 quid, because they're usually £1.50 a bag each, down to £20, so you can have all of these colors and just play with it. I'm just gonna take a sip of my coffee. How do we go up in size between 4 to 10 for a bracelet? What do you mean, Diane? Like, how many beads do you pick up per how many colors you pick up? Or do let me know. I need a bit more information on that. Angela is saying, sorry for being late, I thought it was 9:30. That was me the other day when Sarah went on, and I was just pottering around the house and doing bits of pieces, and all of a sudden I realized it was like 10:20. It's especially rubbish when they change the time. Just need a bit more, few more size 11s. I never know what time is it. I never know what day of the week it is. Or what is the date. I'm really rubbish with that. Lucy's saying she loves it. She's definitely going to try it again. I think it's a really lovely pattern and very easy to do. You just have to get into the rhythm. 2 steps. 1 step you hugging your miracle beads with your seed beads, and the next step you are adding your miracle beads, and really that's it to it. And just repeat each one of those 3 times, going round and round and round. And as you can see, as I'm adding my beads, I'm always turning my work, because I don't sort of want to have, like, I always want to be able to go through the bead in a right angle with my other hand. I don't want to make it uncomfortable at all. So, and in this last one, I'm going to step up straight as I'm going through that size 8. I'm going to step up. I perhaps should have done a different color size 8 for you, so you could have seen it better, but I think you can see which one is the size 8. Oh, 1 bag of 4mm beads will be enough for 1 bracelet. Right, let's just have a look at that. So this one, let me just go through. So we used 3 colors here so far, and this is about 2 inches here, or maybe just a bit over 2 inches. Let me just grab a bracelet, or have I got anything here? Because I moved into the other room, I haven't got the things I had right next to me. Bear with me just 1 second. Oh no, no ruler here. No ruler. You have to take my word for it, I guess. Sorry. So this is about just over 2 inches, and we use 4 colors here. 4 times 9 is 36, so we use 36 beads, and you got 120 in there. So I reckon you could make, just using 1 color seed beads, you could definitely make 1 bracelet. So in that case, if you get the 20 color bundle, you will definitely be able to make loads and loads of bracelets. And I'm going into the orange now after that lovely brown. This is the thing, this is what I love, because we all have running out of space. This is we all love sort of we all love a particular color, and my go-to colors would be down here, the purples and blues and aquas. And when I do something rainbow like this, it makes me to use those oranges, those reds, those sort of golds, because I don't really use gold that much. Time to time I would make a bracelet where there is a dominant color, perhaps navy blue, or dominant color aqua, or the dominant color, one of my favorite colors, and add a gold or add a red or something in there to make it look like really nice. But definitely I got more beads with these sort of colors, purples, blues, in my stash, or I used to have. I'll sort of say that. And when we started to do these bundles and all sorts of different bits of pieces, I really had to sit down and I had to work with all the colors, because we all live and like different colors. So it sort of made me to blend colors more, and using bundles made me to play with colors more. So now I can, you know, put different colors. For example, what I mean, I could put the two purples with the green together, and that I know that would look really lovely. Or I could put the pinks with the lime green together, and I know that would look lovely as well. Hold on. Let's not mix up this color arrangement here though, because I spent so much time arranging in there, or vice versa, or just putting a dash of orange in when I'm doing red. It's really enhances the red and makes it look like even better. So working with bundles, it's not necessarily you're gonna get some beads what you're not never gonna use, because you will use them. You will use them in your patterns, and just adding a little pop of color of like orange into your reds really makes the red stand out, or adding a hint of green with your purples really makes the purple stand out. So it gives you a better and more professional finish. So that's why I love I love blending and doing colors. Mina is saying she loves her beady bundles as well. I think it's good, because otherwise we have our go-to colors, so we would use that. And it's quite interesting that Sarah's go-to colors is completely different from my go-to colors. So and it's in fact quite opposite as well, because I would go to obviously turquoise, blues and purples. She would go for golds and greens and that sort of other end of the spectrum. Just keep adding the miracle beads. But look at that, as we're coming in with the orange, you can really see the color is sort of blending in. And I'm gonna hug my pearls with my seed beads here and keep working my way through. Has anybody got a question? If you got a question, please put Q in front of your question, so I can very easily highlight it. Oh, we have got quite a few questions. Oh, they're asking for your face to be on a scan. It's on there already. Thank you. Linda's asking, can you zoom in closer? Yes, we did that. Debbie asking, Kitty, can you just say the bead count again, please? So the bead count is, you got 2 steps to your beading. So on one row, you're adding your miracle beads. On the next row, you're adding 2 size 11 seed bead, 1 size 8, and 2 size 11. And you're always going through the size 8 on your base. And once you adding your 3rd loop, then you can step up at the same time. So you jumping from the middle of your triangle to the corner, so you can add your miracle beads. Can we use one size seed beads instead of two. Yes, you could. I love using for me, why I love using two size of seed beads when I do tubular netting, because it just highlights which bead you have to go through and which bead you have to pick up. It just makes life easier. But by all means, you could use another size 11. Your pattern would be a little bit tighter, but you could use another size 11 in your pattern. But what would happen, and I'll show you just in a sec. So if this was a size 11 here as well, and I'm picking up my pattern and pulling this through, so I would not know which one bead I have to go through, because there's some that this one sits a little bit towards the top, but they do sit side by side. So by having a larger seed bead, your beads which is in between your miracle beads, you easily can identify which bead you have to go through. So sometimes like it makes easier to use more colors or more sizes, like we were doing the crocheting. And actually crochet is coming back because I got some Christmas colors that, but like we were doing the crocheting, and I got the bracelet here, I can show you. It is easier to crochet with 5 colors than with 1 color. So because you know which loop and which bead you have to go through. So sometimes you would think, oh my word, like there is so many colors and there is so many sizes, I can't deal with it. But sometimes it's easier to deal with, you know, more colors or more sizes, because it will make life easier in the long run. And we run out of miracle beads. So now we had the orange and we're going into the red. Are you adding the size 8 seed beads when you're adding the smaller beads? Yes, I do. Let me just 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. So I'm just picking up 9 beads because I know I need to pick up 9. I just moved these seed beads down here at the bottom. I'm going to move them back here so you can see what I'm picking up, so you can have a nice and clear shot. But if you want to see me, just sort of, because sometimes visually you need to, for me as well, I like to see visually what's happening. Now I'm adding my miracle beads because I'm on my miracle bead row. I'm just going to the corners of my triangles, pulling them together. Dan is saying, can we crochet with the miracle beads? Oh, we could try that out. I have made, I'm going to show you this one. I have made like a Christmas color in the crystals, because the crystals are just so sparkly. And what I was thinking, I'm going to turn this into a bracelet and see, like I got, this one is a little bit more orangey, but it's still red. But because I put a lighter color in that, it really pops the darker color as well. So what I was thinking with this, when we were looking at it, so you could make like a mini bracelets, and I'm talking about probably a little bit bigger than this one, to use as napkin rings. And because they are stretchy, they will be really easy to pull the napkin ring through. Because we did the napkin ring a few weeks back when we had to go with the candle holders, and they look really nice, really sparkly. And but what I found when I went to get all my sort of, I was tidying up the cupboard where my sort of Christmas napkins and bits of pieces are, that I got red Christmas napkins, and they are a little bit bigger than my white one, which I tried the napkin holder on, and they don't really, I can force them through, but I need to make a bigger ring. And I thought that how can I do something where I can just use or make one size, and not like one size fits all, but pretty much one size fits all. So I thought how great that would look like if we made little mini bracelets with our crocheting, and they would become our napkins. But you could equally, because they are smaller, they will be smaller, you could equally use it in your ponytails. Like my ponytail would be quite small, but Lucy's got loads of hair, so you could use it in your hair, you could use it for a lot of different things. your mini bracelets. So I picked up 2 size 11, 1 size 8, 2 size 11, and I'm going through the next size 8 on my base, hugging my seed bead, hugging my miracle bead with my seed beads, and just keep going on and going round and round. How do Dan is asking Kitty, how do we go up at size in this fish? What do you mean, like using a bigger miracle bead? Is that one you that you can do? And actually we could I haven't got any samples here, they're all at work. So my samples, because I have to move offices, some of them in a dining room, some of them are upstairs in a bedroom, and I got most of my samples at work. But I have done, and I've done it with satin pearls before, where we used multiple sizes and you made it like thicker in the middle and went thinner as you went at the top. You just need to adjust the number of beads you are picking up. So when you're picking up larger beads, so if I jump to picking up 6mm beads in the next row, the loops I'm picking up would have to pick up an extra seed bead on the side. So instead of picking up 2 and a size 8 and another 2 size 11, I would pick up 3, a size 8 and another 3, to be able to house the size, the 6mm bead or 8mm bead in there. Carol's saying, I have so many ideas now for Christmas, just need to put them into practice. Oh, I know, Carol, exactly what you mean. They're talking about this just the other day, that we haven't got, like you would think, it's the middle of October, but we haven't got that long now because we still, oh, we're jumping up a color. So we have the red, and we're gonna go to this lovely, what does it say in that? Grey, lovely grey. We haven't got long to go. It's gonna come around really, really quickly. The same as this year is a bit of a blur for me because we've been doing so many different things. I think Christmas is gonna be just around the corner. So I started actually looking on different things, like started to look around what we can get for the children, or started asking them to make their Christmas list, looked at what sort of decorations we're gonna do. But definitely Christmas is my favorite holiday. Not just because it's actually not at all because of the presents and the presents giving. It's about the, oh, and actually I'll got to tell you something about Christmas. It's about, like, you know, being together with the family, crafting together. So each year we do something. Last year I did Christmas wreaths with the French beaded flowers, poinsettia, what I learned from Sarah, and they looked fantastic. I did some for a couple of friends as well. The year before I was doing candle holders, and last year I was actually doing candle holders as well because some of my friends, oh, can you make me one? Question, the red sparkling bracelets you just showed, where can I find the tutorial for that, please? That's going to be tomorrow. So tomorrow we were supposed to do the warehouse tour, but because I got the guys here fixing the ceiling in my office, and I actually got the heating engineer coming out as well, so I have to work from home tomorrow. So we're gonna do that tomorrow. So that's gonna come up tomorrow. It was gonna be on Saturday, but I just bought it forward a day, and that's going to be tomorrow. So we're going to be crocheting again tomorrow. And I know a lot of you ladies were asking about not crocheting in the round, crocheting in the flat, and I'm playing around with that as well, and how we can make a flat elastic bracelet. We might have to do it with knitting, so I'll that's my little project to work out tonight, so I can show it tomorrow. So crocheting again tomorrow, and crocheting slash knitting, because I think if you want to make it flat, you're going to have to knit it, but I'm going to show you all that tomorrow. So that's why it was on my desk, because I was playing around with it. So going back to Christmas, I love Christmas because we always make, it's all like, you know, the baking, the cooking, the everything we do, the families together. You don't have to worry about anything. At Christmas time, we always take, we always had and always take 2 weeks off from work. So we close the business down for 2 weeks. That's the only 2 weeks we close down, because we want to be able to have the time with the children. Oh, look at that color. I just love it, how it's blending. Want to be able to have the time with the children and just sort of have an overall time off together. We are like, we home, we're not going anywhere, but we just sort of spend time together. But the only thing, and what I guess don't like about Christmas that much, that we got all these leading up to Christmas, leading up to Christmas Day, planning your meals, making the decorations, decorating the house, getting the presents, wrapping up the presents, and Christmas Day comes and everything is like, you had all this excitement building up all the way for Christmas, and Christmas Day comes and goes, and you like feel like, I always have a feeling, do let me know if it's only me, I always have a feeling on Boxing Day, now what? You know, like we did all these different things. We we like decorated the house, we cooked, we like got presents, wrapped presents, hid presents, put Christmas presents under the tree, etc., etc. And now what? So what are we supposed to do between Boxing Day and sort of New Year's Day, or like even after that, if you're going back to work later on? So what we come up with, Sarah, this year is we're going to do a 12 days of Christmas kit. This kit is going to be released on the website very soon, and then it's going to start on Boxing Day. You're going to have videos uploaded every single day, and if you get the kit, you can make along with the video every single day. Now, we're not talking about really quick and very sort of intricate makes. They most of them like an hour or max, you know, a half an hour to max an hour make, I guess. But we will be there with you every single day. So if you got time between Christmas and New Year's, or going up to the 5th of Jan, maybe it's something you want to look or treat yourself to, because we will be there every single morning and we want to release this kit. So I know there's a lot of people do like counting down to Christmas calendars, and I love them, and you know, we always get them, but what happens is that we forget to open the doors because we are so busy running around and the kids are still at school, and then you get to the end of the week and there is like, you know, 5 pieces of chocolates not eaten, and then they're eating it at the same time before breakfast usually. So we really wanted to do something which is after Christmas that we can do together. So I hope you will like it. I definitely really loved an idea when we came up with Sarah and talked about it, and do all sorts of different things. So we're going to be making earrings, bracelets, necklaces, and just going to be a little bundle what you can get. I'm not quite sure when is the release date. It's in my diary, but we will release it earlier, and then we will ship all of them together out at the start of December. So we'll have it just for Christmas. Right, so I'm adding my last of these shadow colors, and then I'm going to go into that lighter color. Lourdes is saying, hi everyone. I'm late this morning. Well, good morning to you, Lourdes. We're just doing tubular netting, my lovely, and this is about half. If I was making a bracelet, I'm probably about halfway through. So we were working with 5mm miracle beads last week. I did added the video link to the description, so you can check that as well. And this morning we are working with 4mm, and look at, I just love it. I just really love the tubular netting because it's such an even stitch, and it just looks nice. And I can be OCD sometimes, and that just really, like, I don't know, I just get like a pleasure out of looking at the pattern because it's so even and it looks so nice. And when you blend the colors, they're just really, really nice. Oh, Jenna's saying I should treat myself for Christmas list. Yes, please do. Um, that's gonna be starting soon as well. We got so much things coming up that with Sarah, we always double the trouble, I say, because when she comes down, we come up with loads of good things and loads of interesting things, and then we go to Simon and say, oh well, by the way, we want to do this and we want to do that, and obviously Simon and Molly and Leanne and everybody at work, they have to make it happen because it's very easy to come up with all these ideas what we're coming up, but they're the ones what you then have to build the pages on the website. Then the guys at the warehouse, they're the ones who will be measuring out the kits and putting everything together. So we couldn't do what we do without them. So I have to be that we need them. We need them more than anything, I guess. I'm just saying, my daughter bought me a Harry Potter calendar last year. It had a bracelet and the beginning and then a piece of jewelry to each day, all with Harry Potter theme. Really lovely. Yes, there's loads of different calendars out there. There are some jewelry making ones, but what we're gonna do is we're not gonna start before Christmas. We're gonna start on Christmas Day, and we're gonna take you through all the way through the January. And we're not just giving you instructions. They're gonna be a video released every single day, so you can come and watch it. And you are going to be able to obviously comment on it and do talk to each other still. We still going to be in a background. It's not going to be a live video. It's going to be a recorded video played. We're still going to be in the background because obviously we got the children at home and really want to spend time with them, but it will give you the option, so you come and watch the video, you can make along, and you can still talk to each other. Talk to us as well, because I'm sure I can't keep away, so I'm sure I'll be on there in the background. Even if you're doing something with the kids, I usually just put it on my phone or iPad and just put it to the side to see you all. Oh, Angela's saying, oh, those lovely hard-working people behind the scene. Yes, Angela, we couldn't do it without them. And we are grateful. I just need a few more beadies. I always sort of, because I'm the, well, my title is a creative director in Totally Beads, but obviously I'm the owner of the Totally Beads as well. But I always see all those hardworking people. I never really say, I don't like to say they work for me. How I like to refer them is that they work with me, because without them I couldn't do what I do, and I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be able to do the Facebook lives or anything like that, because I'd be busy packing orders myself. So I'm so appreciative they're working with me. That's why I always say, not for me, they're working with me. We are a team. Right, and I'm just going to add the last of these lovely white beads, and then we're going to go into the pink. So you can arrange your colors however you like. Simon has given us a great offer today. So Simon is the financial director of the company, so I haven't got a say in how much things they sell or what we do. I can ask, like, I would like to work with this, I would like to work with that. Can you give us an offer? And then he goes and he decides. So he has given us a great offer, and I'm probably going to take it a little bit longer and just a couple more beads. And because I only have a little bit of thread, I'm going to show you how to attach a new thread. And probably what we do is we need to add a clasp to this. So we need to work out before I go, because I'm quite aware that we've been here for an hour now. But before I go, I want to show you, I want to work out with you how to add a clasp. And I think I'm going to be using a 12mm magnetic clasp. I love those ones. They're about the same size. They will be the same size as the tube here. And I think they're going to look great on there. And I love magnetic clasps because they're so easy to take off or so easy to put on. There's no flipping about with them, and the bigger ones are, especially the bigger ones, they are really strong. Susan is saying, I can see that black or dark gray seed beads would work well with this. It would give a stained glass effect. Oh yes, I think it would. Do have a go. Do have a go, and if you make any of it, pop a picture into the handmade group so we can all see it. I think it will definitely look really good if you use the dark. And in fact, I think somebody, I can't remember the name of the lady, but somebody has shared a picture with miracle beads and black seed beads. Margaret is saying, I'm sure the Christmas bundle can go on my Christmas list. I think it would be really good just to do something together between Christmas and New Year's, because we do so much. We do so much for our grids, and I haven't got any grandchildren yet, but probably if you have grandchildren, you do so much for your grandchildren, your nieces, your friends, your neighbors, and especially me, I'm always the last one to think about my own self for Christmas. So I sort everybody out. I like even when we cook a Christmas meal, you know, certain people like dessert in our Christmas time is a really big thing in our house, and everybody likes a different dessert in our house. So I have to have profiteroles because my husband loves profiteroles. Christopher loves the cheesecake. I do like cheesecake as well, so we have to have a cheesecake. But my favorite dessert is tiramisu, and I'm always the last one to get the tiramisu for myself. And we don't think about ourselves, because I think Christmas is the sort of the time of giving and the time of like showing your loved ones how you feel about them. And that's why I really wanted to do something sort of after Christmas just for ourselves, and put something together just for yourselves, what you can do, and you know, just enjoy it. Just you've done all the hard work, most probably cooked, bought all the presents, wrapped all the presents up. It's like 1 year, the you know, her. So this was so funny. Right, I'm gonna, because I only got probably about half a feet of thread left here. What? Oh, Susan is saying I love tiramisu. Yes, that's my favorite. If there is tiramisu, I'm there. So I'm gonna sew this thread off. To sew it off, all I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna start coming back on my thread path, just going down a few beads and just really going backwards any thread path you created. And I'm just gonna stop there. Now I'm gonna do a 1 thread knot here, a 1 thread knot. I'm taking my beads under these seed beads, just under there. I haven't gone through any beads, just went under 2 of my seed beads. You can see this little loop forming, and before this disappears, I'm gonna go through this loop, pull it tight, and as I'm pulling it tight, there's a little knot is forming on there. And I'm just going to go through a few more beads and repeat this again. So I like to work my threads off. Oh, everybody's saying I love tiramisu. Yes. I never actually, my aunt in Hungary, she makes the most amazing tiramisu, and I never actually tried to make one. I'm useless at baking. I can cook and I love cooking, but I'm useless at baking. So maybe I should get a recipe and try it. Try to make tiramisu this year instead of buying it. Try to make it. I know you need like mascarpone for it and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, maybe that could be my thing this Christmas, that I actually make my own tiramisu. That would be great. All these things we learn, eh? Right, so I just added a little knot there. I'm just going to go through a few more seed beads because I don't want to cut it out right next to my knot. Just come through these two, and I'm quite simply just gonna cut this tail off. So I like to work my tails off as I am going through my beads, because otherwise I could have joined a new thread right here, but by joining a new thread I would just have that tail sticking out, And then when you make the bracelet or you make the necklace, you still have to come back and, like, you know, do something with that tail, work it off, because obviously you can't leave it on there. And so I like to do it as I go along, because otherwise once you finish the bracelet, you're going to be sitting there for an extra half an hour and just working off. Right, so I'm just gonna very quickly join this here. So to join it, again, I'm working the tail end off before I start beading. So I know I want to work this way, anti-clockwise. So working my tail off, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go through this size 8 seed bead just here from the opposite side and just sew these beads off. So just little tail off. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go through a few beads. I'm going to do a couple of 1 thread knots. My bobbin is still on the other end, so I'm only working with a little thread here. Oh, all the tiramisu stories are coming through. I love it. I'm going to do a 1 thread knot here again, working this little tail off. Again, I'm going to go through a few more beads and repeat it. So I like to add probably about 2 or 3 knots just to really secure it down. Just go through there. Go under here and pull this through. That's it. And just take it through a few more beads and cut this off. So then I'm going to unreel more thread from the bobbin and have a really nice and clean piece of beadwork to work with. So I haven't got tails and bits and pieces hanging out. What I have to deal with later, I dealt it straight away right here before I started beading. So my bobbin is still here. I'm going to take more thread off, just as much as I can quite easily bead with. So it's a couple of arm span. I'm going to add my needle to it, take the needle down to the middle so I can move it back. Oh, Mina's saying my Christmas dinner is spiced up roast chicken. Oh, Angela is loving tiramisu and profiterole. I don't know what we're gonna have. We always have to have like turkey and beef and chicken at Christmas, because well, me and my father-in-law, we like beef. My husband likes beef as well, but my husband says that he can't have Christmas without a turkey because he always had a turkey. My Christopher doesn't eat turkey; he only eats chicken. So we have to have all these different things to make, and well, it's quite good actually, because you don't really need to cook for the 2-3 days afterwards. We just always have leftovers. We don't need to cook. And now I just added the thread onto that needle, or that needle to the thread, and I just carry on with my beading as normally until I get to the end. But I'm just gonna add this pink one on here, these pink ones, and then I'm going to add a needle to this end, and we're going to add a clasp on here, and very quickly work out how we're going to do our clasp. We tend to have 3-bird roast for dinner. That's from Angela. Yes, we tried all sorts of different things. So traditionally in Hungary, for Christmas we would have duck or we would have fish. So turkey wasn't really a thing. Oh no, sorry, goose. We would have duck on duck and goose, but goose for Christmas. And well, I'm just gonna go sort of around here, just on this top row one more time, just to not. I don't really want to secure the thread down, but I don't want the thread starting to travel back upwards and make my netting looser. So anytime when you have to put your beading down, that's actually quite a good tip to do, just to sort of run around the top if you got big holes on your beads, which I have here because I'm working with size 8 and the miracle beads, just to have a more secure bead, because you won't be able to pull it back quite easily. Right, let's deal with this end. So because we've been turning and turning our beads around, as I was going around, this thread is actually wound around itself. So before I'm adding the needle to it, I'm just going to take this between my index finger and my thumb, pushing down with my nails. I'm going to pull this thread all the way to the end, and what it does is just unreels the spiral what it created all the way to the end. It's a little bit too long as well, so I just trimmed it. And again, I'm going to do the same thing, just let it to unreal. Right, clasp. I got clasps here. So I think definitely one of these, and that would go really nicely on the end, and it will be like a feature piece on it as well. So you just have to work out what color we want to put with it. So I always have these clasps, and like, you know, you've seen my box here before, I always had these clasps at home, and I always have all these different colors here because I don't actually, I might have in mind that I'm going to be using this type of clasp, but I don't actually decide on the color until I finish the bracelet or the necklace, because using different colors and different proportionally different beads can, like, you know, once you get to the end, one clasp, the clasp can either bend in or stand out, and depending on what you want to do, you want to use different ones. So these are the 5 colors we normally stock. I could actually, looking at this, put this really nice copper color in there because I got those sort of oranges and reds and pinks going on there. Or I could add the, if I use darker seed beads properly, I would add a darker one to it. But again, I got those darker colors in there as well. Gold one I could add as well because I got quite a lot of gold colors here on this end. But don't forget, you will have to see what you have on the other end as well, because you might have blues here or aquas. I think for this one I'm either going to use this rhodium color or the silver. What do you think, rhodium or silver? Just lift this up a bit. That's the silver or the rhodium. Do let me know which color to use, and I'm going to pop that one on it. I think the rhodium blends in a little bit better, but the silver is equally just as good. So do let me know what color, the dark one. So is that referring to this one, Camille? I think this one, that one to use. Oh, Angela saying, love the crackling, but have to be careful with my teeth now. Oh, I know, Angela, I know exactly what you mean. I've been there, been done that. Cracked my teeth before as well. Rhodium, 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 silver, rhodium. Most of you saying rhodium, so I'm going to go ahead with the rhodium. And what we're going to do is, there is 2 ways to do this. So when we did the bracelet with the 3mm crystal beads and the size 15 and a size 11 seed beads, I worked out a way to hide the loop inside your beadwork, which we could do. It takes a little bit longer, and then you have to go sort of backwards and forwards on your beading. What's happening at the end of this thread? Let's cut this off. Or you can just, easiest way, I'm going to show you the easier way to do it. So do check out that video, and Molly, if you're still watching, do give us the link, which is the same technique, but we used size 15, size 11s, and we used 3mm crystal beads. I'm giving you a really nice pattern. Do check that one out. With that one we hid the, oh, there we go, we hid the clasp inside. So the clasp, the loop on the clasp was sitting inside the beads, and the end went on to the top of it as well. I should have bought my bracelet then. It's upstairs in the bedroom, but hey ho. I'm not gonna run. So I've run up and down. I'll definitely be out of breath for at least 5 minutes. So I'm going to show you an easier way this time. So here, let's take it through that size 8. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to add my loops on, which then would be housing my miracle beads, but I am not going to add any more miracle beads on here. but I'm doing the same loop, so keeping to the same pattern. What I would do, actually, if we did one seed bead, would that work? Because this one, if I pull this together, no, I want the two because I want it to sit on nicely and neatly on top of it. And if I just do one, I think it might sit a little bit wonky. So I was just thinking for a second. So we're picking up 2 seed beads, 1 size 8 and 2 seed beads. And I was thinking if I just picked up 1 size 11, 1 size 8 and 1 size 11, that how well would it sit on the top? But I think it would be too tight and you wouldn't be able to pull it to the top. So let's just go with the normal 2 size 11, 1 size 8, 2 size 11. I'm going to go through that last, creating my triangle, that last size 8, and I'm going to come into the corner. And normally what we would do here is we would add our miracle beads, but we're just going to go through the next size 8 without adding any miracle beads and pulling it together. So what we are creating a little point at the end of our netting, and I'm just coming back on myself, so going back to the first one. So if you look at it sideways, you sort of like a little dome we did at the top with our beads. Let me just bring this up nice and close so you can see it. And then from here I got these 3 size 8 seed beads at the end. I'm gonna just quite easily go through the loop and then circle back on that bead. I'm gonna sew this clasp to the bracelet quite a few times and then jump along one. Then I'm just going around in circles, go through the loop on the clasp, then back to the seed bead, and along to the next one. I find the more you sort of sew this loop on to the end of your clasp, the more stronger your clasp is going to be, because don't forget, this is the part where your bracelet is going to be tugged the most. So as you're trying to take it off or put it on, pull it apart, that's always getting the most stress throughout your bracelet. So I find that because I go through quite a few times here at the class, my bracelets never really break at the top here. So I went around and added each one of those to the loop on the clasp, and I keep gonna go around. I go around another time again to add more loops. So I sewn it to the clasp probably about 4 times now. I'm just gonna keep going around and sew it to another 2 or 3 times just to make that connection really nice and secure. Just pull this up nice and tight. Oh, Karen is asking, the email gone out of the Bead Club? That not yet, Karen. It is going. So that's another thing what we're launching in November. We have sort of talked with Sarah that what we can do and how we can create a more sort of, I miss my bead club. So normally we would run bead clubs in the warehouse, and we would have ladies coming in, or gentlemen coming in and doing little workshops, and we run a bead club which was a weekly bead club every single week in the warehouse. And it was lovely because you get to know the people, you get to know each other as well, and it was just a really lovely environment. Always looked forward to do that one. And because obviously what's going on in 2020, we can just write 2020 off. We can't do anything like that. So we've been racking our brains that how we can create an online environment doing exactly the same, which is what we come up with, Sarah, that we come up with a way that how We can have workshops every single week, which you can join. You can just join one workshop, or obviously you're gonna have great savings by like subscribing it monthly, because the cost is gonna go right down. So you can join in every single week. It's gonna be a 2-hour workshop every single week. We're gonna be doing all sorts of different things, but it's not just gonna be led by us. It's gonna be led by you as well. So if you want to do a particular stitch, it might take us, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks or maybe 2 months to put the stitch on, but we will include it and do it for you. And each week it's gonna be done through Zoom. So each week it's gonna be the same people coming back, and I wanted that environment where you can come and, like, here I'm talking to you and we're doing the Facebook lives and you can chat to each other in the comments, but I wanted an environment where you can talk to each other as well, and have a sort of a nice environment. If you go and learn a class, and I'm sure, like, I done classes on Zoom and you done classes on Zoom, but every class you go in, you always have different people and you have to start over again, like, you know, asking the names and what you do and where you're from and all that. And what we want to do with the Bead Club is create a closed environment where it's always the same people coming back, so you get to know about each other a bit more. And we're going to have a community page behind it where if you miss the class, you can go and watch the class, so you don't miss out on anything, and you can ask each other questions, and we will be on there as well answering anything if you get stuck with or anything you want. So I really can't wait for that. And the what we're gonna do with Totally Beads is an email gonna go out, is it tomorrow, I think. We're asking people to sign up to the Bead Club newsletter. So if you sign up to the Bead Club newsletter, then we're gonna give you a special voucher so you can sign up even cheaper, because we really want to sort of give you something. Most of you have been so loyal here, and some of you, I think you only find us sort of not long ago, but most of you have been with us since March, and we really want to recognize that you've been with us for a long time, and give you an introductory offer. So look out for that email from Totally Beads so you can sign up to the Bead Club newsletter, and then next week is gonna go out and tell you all about it. From that will be coming, and you will get your voucher as well. So it's all sort of coming together. It's all go at the moment. I'm working on New Year's before, and Christmas coming, everything is coming. So I will need that 2 weeks off for Christmas. It's a different email to the normal one. So what you get, what the email is going to come from Totally Beads, like a normal newsletter comes, what we send out usually on Tuesdays and Saturdays, or sometimes Wednesdays, depending on what they're doing in the warehouse. So it's going to come through, the email is going to come through Totally Beads, and then it's going to explain about the Bead Club a little bit, and then you're going to have to click on the link and sign up to the Bead Club newsletter, and that way we will be able to send you your coupon. So when you come to sign up, make sure that have that coupon for yourself. So yeah, that's coming. That's very close now. Joy's saying my client just left. I'm gonna make a cuppa and watch it from the start. So once I finished and we just added the class, I'm just doing the end off now and just doing another half hitch knot to working, and then that's pretty much what you need to know about this stitch. I will go and finish this off on the other side. I see how many colors, let me just count the colors, how many we added so far and how big is it. Hold on, I got a rogue thread here. That's fine. That's it. So far, so we got a really nice neat end to our clasp is sewn there quite a few times, as you can see, but because I use the grey thread, this is what I love about Superlon, that it matches the thread the beads what you use. There we go, there is. So it sort of disappears in there. So far we used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We used 10 colors. So that's 10 colors. So that's half the colors of the colors what you get in your bundle. And if you can see, it goes around more than half of my wrist, and I do have a big wrist. And we always have a little chuckle with that with Sarah, because she's got a really tiny wrist. So I probably wouldn't need all 10 colors. If I'm adding 3 beads, I probably would need another 5 or 6 colors. So probably would get up to like the pinks and purples, and then I would join it as a bracelet. Depending on what size is your wrist, you can add more or less colors. But we had 3 rows of the same color. You can go down to 2 rows and go all the way through, or you can go up to 4 rows, or you can alternate them. So you could do 3 colors of one color, sort of coming, or using 4 or 5 colors. Like if I would start with the gold here, working myself up to the brown, and then I could go back down to the gold, come back to the brown, depending of how many colors you want to do. All I'm using is size 8 and size 11 seed beads. You might very well have some in your stash, but do take advantage of this lovely offer. And I'm going to zoom you out a bit so you can see all the lovely colors on there. Do take an advantage of these lovely colors, because I'm not sure how much stock we have as well of these of the bundles, because these bundles, this is like we stock 20 colors of this. And what usually happens, that if one of the colors goes out of stock, for example, like the let's take the pink away, the pink went out of stock, then we cannot do the bundle anymore. So at the moment, because we received the shipment a month or so ago, no, August. What month is it now? It's October. So because we a couple of months ago received the shipment, so we probably fine. But what happens if one color goes out of stock, then the whole bundle goes out of stock, because we can't do it anymore. And Simon has given us a really great offer on it. So instead of £30, instead of costing you £1.50 per bag, it's gonna cost you £1 a bag. So I think that's really generous, and you can do so many things with it. And I think we worked out that you can do like 20 bracelets if you did. Obviously you needed seed beads and you needed your clasp. Let me just pull this down so you can see it, because I'm right behind it. But if you wanted, as I said, you could just use your pinks and purples, 5 colors there. You could use your purples and blues, or you could use your golds, just those colors, or you could use just your grays, or add a blue into the gray, and then it's more sort of a unisex piece, I guess. It's really just up to you. Somebody suggested to do it with black seed beads. Do try that as well. I think I will try that as well, because I'm quite sort of, I think this one looks great because it blends in, but if you used black seed beads with this one, I think the colors would really pop out and it would be really nice. And with this one we blended it in, so it's probably, I would wear this every day, I guess, because it's very colorful. It's the rainbow, but because we got this overall color silver going through it, it's sort of the rainbow is there, but that's not your primary color. That does make sense. But if I did it with black ones, I think the black ones would really highlight all the colors all the way through. But do have a go. Have a look at the bundle. As I said, I'm not sure how much stock we got, because it depending on all the colors that have to be in stock to be able to do all 20 colors. And if you do make anything, do pop a picture up on well, either the handmade, or do send me a picture. If you message me a picture, then I can show that picture to you next week when we do the creation station again. Whatever you do, it would be really great. So if you play around, do send me loads of pictures, because we can show them off. And I actually had a picture. Let me just give me just one sec, which I actually wanted to show you. I wanted to show you, just one second. I'm just gonna find this real quick. So Was it Diane? It's just loading. I wanted to show you really quickly. Oh yes, so what we were talking last week about is super duo beads versus the twin hole beads. So they are very similar shape, very similar sizes, but they are different. So Diane sent in a couple of pictures, and I'm just going to drop these in here. That is, it's going to come up. So that is the Hana bracelet we made, and that one is I'm not sure why is it showing the picture like that. That is super duos, and I have, she sent another one here which is very similar pattern. No, that's not the one I want this. Very similar pattern, but this one is twin hole beads. So you can see, do we send your picture messenger? Yes, please do. If you send it through Kitty Robinson Designs, that would be really great. Can I zoom in on this one? So these are twin holes. I'm gonna have to save these, I think, quickly and show them to you that way, because they look a little bit messy with the heading and I can't resize the picture. So, 1 second. Add image to I want it on the desktop so I can find it. There we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. So this is with twin holes. Am I right, Diane? So as you can see, they are a little bit more like an oval shape, and with the super duos are a little bit more let's just save this as well. The super duos are a little bit more I completely forgot about this, because I had that I had that thing this morning that I really quickly had to move everything over to here. It really thrown me, and the things I was going to do, there we go, there we go. So that's, these are super duos, and just make this a little bit bigger, and they are twins. So you can see by the different shape there with using them in the same application. I just think this was a really nice way to demo them, because as you can see, super duo beads do fit together better, in my opinion. It gives you a more of a herringbone weave, like these twin holes are more of a like a little bit of oval shape at the top. So do send me pictures of the miracle beads so I can show that next week. And if you send it to Kitty Robinson Design, just send it to Messenger and I will have it. And if you send it to me in Messenger, then you're giving me the permission to show them on the screen. So that would be great as well. Super duos are more diamond shaped, yes, and that's right. They're very similar, manufactured by two different companies, Matubo and Preciosa. There is loads of beads like that. So we've got tiller beads and tile beads. So there is loads of different ones which are very similar, but they got difference. And when you apply them in different settings, they will give you slightly different. So sometimes 4 seed beads is enough for one, but you need 5 for the other, or vice versa. Or, you know, they can work, but they always looks better if you add them in the right pattern. So that's it from today. Oh, thanks, Kitty. I really enjoyed that tutorial. Will be my Christmas project for Christmas. Yes, so do play around with it. Whatever you do, pop a picture of us so we can all see it. I think it will be really nice to, you know, be going into the autumn and winter and just work with rainbow and ombre, and just really, it always makes me smile. Dorothy's saying she's looking forward to USB 4 too. Yes, that's coming as well. We've got so much going on. I'm giving up sleep for the next 2 weeks. So So that's it. That's that's what I'm giving up, because there's just so much things has to be done. But it's also exciting. So that's it for me today. I'll be back tomorrow. So tomorrow we were supposed to do the warehouse store, but we're gonna do crocheting with red and green beads, and I am having a go. I need to. I'm not going to show you it. I have to work out a little bit more, because I don't want to see the thread parts when you do knitting with them. So you have a flatter bracelet and a nice fit, but I'll show you that tomorrow as well. But these ones, you can make them into napkin rings, because this is what I was thinking, that it doesn't matter what size you do, because the elastic, the napkin's gonna fit through it. And if you make it small enough, what you can do, you can put it in your hair on the top of your hair bubble as well, so you can have a really nice decorations if you wear ponytails as well. Or if you, or in fact, if you put your hair in like my Lucy, she loves her hair in a bun, so if you make it smaller, you could put it around the bun as well, and that would look really, really great. So Lucy's saying, who needs sleep? Yeah, we don't need sleep, that's it. Sleep is overrated, isn't it? I usually only sleep about 6 hours a night anyway. So, and that's it, I'm up. So it doesn't matter what time I go to bed, and I try this over and over again. If I go to bed at 10 o'clock, I will wake up at, I don't know, 5 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock. If I go to bed at 12 o'clock, I will get up at 6, 7 o'clock. So it's always the 6, 7 hours of sleep. That's what it. Sharon's saying, won't be around tomorrow as he'll be volunteering in the local church. So, well done, lovely. That's so nice. I think especially this time, this year, with all these problems, it's so nice if people are still volunteering, because that's the first thing that people stopped doing, and that's great. So well done, Sharon. Right, okay, tomorrow we are going to be crocheting and knitting with our elastic and crystals. There is a couple of new bundles are coming. I did a lovely red one and a green one as well, so we were perfect for Christmas. And yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Take care, everybody. Have a lovely day. See you tomorrow. Bye.